Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host, and today's episode is on New Earth Consciousness. It's time we dive into the details of the New Earth, living, teachings, awarenesses, consciousness, and today we are going to dive into the subject of Patriarchy and Matriarchy, which neither of them are New Earth, okay? Both Patriarchy and Matriarchy are old paradigm, old Earth. None will exist or are existing within the New Earth. Before we dive in, we have such an exciting moon coming up this weekend. My sweet sister, how are you? I hope you're breathing and I hope you're feeling, and I hope you are enjoying these really high frequencies that are coming in. Make sure you're resting, make sure you're integrating, right? Taking your time. I really had to struggle. I'm on the struggle bus today. I had to struggle to get myself ready for this recording. I was like, oh, I'm dragging so hard. The moon, and I'm also getting my period, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired. And I feel fat and just, uncomfortable. you know. But I am here, and I am super excited for this moon. It's a blue moon this weekend on May 31st. Now, blue moon means there are two of the same moon, two full moons in this month of May, which is very rare. The beautiful thing about this moon, though, this full moon in Sagittarius this Sunday, is that it is really truly a magical moon. A magical moon. So I want to talk about it just a little bit because this is a moon to work with. If you've never done moon water, make yourself some moon water with this moon. I will definitely make myself moon water. So what you want to do is you want to get nice, clean spring water and put it into a bowl, preferably a glass bowl or a ceramic bowl. We don't want it to be plastic, no plastic. And you can place some crystals into it. You can place some flower petals into it, however you feel called. And before you leave this bowl with this water out in the night sky, think of it as you're calling in the magic of this moon. You're calling in the frequencies of this moon. And this is such a special moon because Sagittarius, of course, is ruled by Jupiter, which means it's the planet of luck and expansion and abundance, right? So this is the time. This is the time to really bring in the manifestations. And of course, water I'm not all there today. What is water? It's a conductor. It's a conductor. Thank you. And so think of this moon water bowl, right, as the conductor. And before you leave this bowl out, make sure you speak to the moon and ask the moon to bring forth all of the blessings that you are looking to manifest. This is a powerful manifestation moon. So make sure you connect with this moon consciousness and call forth the things that you are wanting to focus on, the things that you are wanting to see your expansion within. Go ahead and call forth all of those blessings, whether it's health, whether it's prosperity, abundance, joy, love, friendships, mission, right? Really give yourself this magic for this moon. It'll be really worth it. And so once you've spoken your manifestations, your creations into this moon water, then you thank the moon, you bless the moon, you bless the water, you say, and so it is, and so it be, amen, right? So you complete this intention setting, and then you leave the water, you leave the bowl out overnight. The next morning, you can then bring the bowl in, and now you can do so many different things with this water. Now this is a very high vibrational water that you can spray on yourself in the mornings when you're setting your intention for the day. Or you can also, what I sometimes do with clients or when I host groups, I bring this water and I spray it. I spray it on people when we're first getting started to settle their energies. So that you can do so many things. You can also spray this water on your furniture or on your bed or on your car, right? Whichever place you feel you want to connect with through these vibrations. The other thing about this moon is that, remember that New Earth consciousness, right? We're playing right into it. New Earth consciousness means we are up-leveling all the time. We're upgrading every day now. And this means we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention to the parts of us that are still needing to up-level. We're having to pay attention to the parts of us that need to be upgraded, right? We are like a phone or a computer. We need to be upgraded to hold, to align to these higher frequencies. And so make sure that either before you do your moon water or after, that you sit with yourself and you really check in with yourself. What is not in alignment any longer? What within me wants to be up-leveled? And so really listen to yourself and ask yourself into your soul as well, have I been living in my soul alignment? Have I been following my soul's guidance? Yes, so really connect with yourself to the deepest levels. And it's a mindset, right? New Earth living is a lifestyle and it's a mindset because we're continuing to grow. There is no such thing as a finish line and there is no such thing as perfection. So we're always up-leveling. We're always now growing. We're always now expanding, which is such a beautiful thing to stay so open to and flexible with, that you want to always be very accepting and very supportive and very unconditional with yourself as you are recognizing parts that are maybe still holding on to the old ways. And this is very normal. Think of your physical body as this vessel, right? That holds consciousness, it holds memory, it holds energies, it holds everything. And as we are leveling up, the nervous system needs to keep getting upgraded. The ego body needs to keep getting upgraded, right? Because New Earth, there is no ego that is in charge any longer. And we'll dive into this now, but I really want you to align with the magic of this moon. Align with the magic, because this is also you aligning with your goddess. This is you aligning with your essence. This is you aligning with your powers. And the more that you do, the more you will also know which parts still need to be upgraded. And if you don't know, that's okay. Just ask into yourself. Ask into your soul, ask into your higher self, ask into your being. And when you're asking, you will always receive the answer. And the answers can come maybe in that moment. But if they don't, that's okay too. right? Be okay with that. Maybe your answers come through dreams, through premonitions. Maybe your answers come through visions. Maybe your answers come through a video that all of a sudden pops up somewhere that you feel called to watch. So stay open, stay flexible. Every goddess works with different energies at different times, yes? So stay in that alignment as well, that you are flexible, you are accepting and working with however the universe, spirit, your higher self wants to bring these informations forth. Good. By the way, if you're hearing noise out there, I've got workers here. I'm getting a new deck. They're almost done. So lots going on here today. I'm here though. Okay, my gorgeous. Go ahead and stay in the breath and keep on breathing. Stay in your conscious in and exhale. As we are now diving into patriarchy and matriarchy. And I felt very called to talk about this because there are a lot of women out there now that are calling on the matriarchy. And even some women are now calling on building communities and building villages where there are no men allowed, right? And so very extreme, right? Very extreme. And I have to say it so bluntly, any woman that is calling for the matriarchy is unhealed. It's just the way it is. And any man who's holding on to the patriarchy is also unhealed, right? And so I feel it's very important for us to really look at how consciousness develops and how energies unfold. So when we're looking at the patriarchy, right? The patriarchy has been in control and controlling women, controlling this earth and in a negative way, right? So I'm not saying that all men that were in that dynamic were bad men. That's not what I'm saying. But when we're looking at this earth plane, we can clearly see that, this way of living did not serve, right? We are literally at the brink of some destruction here. So patriarchy isn't working. Matriarchy, women are saying that, women put the children and the safety and the well-being of the children first, yes? And this is correct. And so in this sense, matriarchy might make more sense to the logical left brain. But really, when we're looking at this entire spectrum, right, we also have to understand that anybody who's calling for matriarchy or patriarchy isn't healed, because remember, we already are both of these energies. We already are the masculine and the feminine energy within. We have the right and the left hemispheres. And healing, true healing, deep healing, soul-aligned healing means we are embodying both. We are in both. We are fully in our feminine energy, and through the healing and only through the healing can we really be embodied in our feminine energy. And yes, of course, we can all put on a dress or makeup or, whatever we do and feel feminine for 10 minutes. And we can put on that black cat energy or that seductress energy and feel feminine, yes. But that is not a consistent place. That is not a consistent state. We're talking about authentic healing. And anybody who has been or is in the process of authentic healing will then embody their feminine energy. Man and woman, both, through healing, will open into their feminine energy, which is, remember, the soul. It is through the feminine energy that we access the soul. It is through the feminine energy that we align with our higher self and our open heart. Also, when we really go into this deep healing and we're really focusing on that, not only do we open up more into our feminine energy and embody it more and more and more, we are also stepping out of the ego, which is absolutely a necessity for anybody to be in the new earth consciousness. And as we are healing out of the ego, and as we are healing out of all of these lack patterns, and as we are clearing ourselves out of the illusion into soul alignment, we are now, and it's inevitable, it's a guarantee, we are now in that inner embodiment of the masculine and the feminine energy within. And again, it's not gender specific. But once we are in this healed and balanced place, once we are in this level of consciousness, matriarchy or patriarchy are irrelevant. Irrelevant because that is, like I've said, old paradigm. Now, surely there are, like really toxic men out there that are controlling women's bodies and, making rules and setting laws into existence that allow them to marry young women, children, to impregnate them and keep them locked up in the house, right? So that is, of course, the toxic masculine. But then there's also the toxic feminine, right? And this is the women that haven't healed and maybe they've experienced trauma through men. And most of them probably have, right? And so they are now, anybody who isn't healed, let's say the extremes of the toxic feminine and the toxic masculine, because they aren't healed, they have to live it out. They have to experience it. And that is really what we've been seeing here on earth, this entire karmic play. Everything that is unhealed has to and will be acted out, played out, right? So these unhealed women, right? Not all toxic, right? But many of them still traumatized and unhealed. Now they, because they're not healing, to them, in their ego and in their logic, that makes sense to separate themselves from men because they were hurt by men. And the other way around, men so in their ego, so in their darkness, that they still have to hold on, to this abusive, ego-driven need to control and to be in charge and to be the leader, right? And so neither of these extremes are a healthy balance, a healed embodiment of self. And so let's go ahead and let's talk about the newer generations, right? So we see these newer generations that are coming in that are neutral, gender neutral. They don't want to be considered male or female because they call themselves them or they. And this is actually advanced, right? This is actually the truth, more of the truth of us, because I have played a man in so many lifetimes. I've been a woman many, many, many more times than I've been a man. But we've all had masculine and feminine incarnations. We have all been everything. We've all been the man and we've all been the woman, and we've been a tree or a dolphin or a flower. We've done it all. We've had all of these different incarnations. And so therefore, on a soul level, we're neither, right? We're neutral. Remember, these are just energies. Sorry about the background noise. Remember, we're just energies, consciousness, and being in these bodies. It doesn't matter if we are in a female body or a male body. These energies, the feminine and the masculine energies, are simply the tools through which we work with these human incarnations, with these human experiences that are just illusion. It's just illusion. We're neither. We're not these human bodies. We're just playing these human characters. And so I love being a woman. I love playing a woman. It's always been my preference. And so therefore, my soul could be considered to have more of a feminine feel. But again, that's up to each and every soul. It doesn't define us. And in essence, we are neutral, right? In essence, we are simple consciousness. And the further and higher we go up into our light, soul, oneness, consciousness, the less we lose that identification, right? The identification of male and female is simply for these earthly experiences. And so when we're looking at New Earth is a much higher level of consciousness. And in this higher level of consciousness, which we have to heal into, there is no way of faking the funk, right? There is no way of bypassing the healing to get into the New Earth consciousness. It's an ascended form. And we can only get there by going deeper through the healing of any and all lack, any and all limitation, any and all wounding, any and all trauma. You know this. I talk about this all the time. So the deeper we go, the more we heal, the higher the consciousness we are able to not only access, but also embody. We have to embody it, not just knowing about it. Remember the last 2 episodes with Erica? Yes. Go watch them again. Great nervous system regulation practices in there too. But so it's not just about knowing it all, right? It's about embodying it. It's about living it. It's about understanding it and working with it. So here we are now in the New Earth consciousness. And let's say there is a pair, right? We have a masculine and a feminine that healed into these higher levels of consciousness, and they are now together in this awareness of elevated knowing, elevated choosing, elevated living. And so therefore, as we are in this elevated way of experience now in the New Earth, which is a much higher frequency, there is no more need for I'm the leader. No, I'm the leader. No, I call the shots. No, I call the shots. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even a thing anymore, because both have healed and outgrown that ego control. So now, as we have outgrown the ego control, now we are in this beautiful balance and harmony where, first of all, the heart is open. And so in this heart opened, conscious, soul recognizing place, first of all, there's deep devotion to this experience, right? Because we've all had the old way. We've all had the unconscious and low vibing toxic ways, right? So now we are elevated and we've done the work and we've grown into this consciousness, and there is deep reverence for each other, knowing the uniqueness and the gift that this experience is, right? Not only do we see and know each other for so many lifetimes, there is also a deep reverence and a deep respect where all of these old toxic behaviors don't even come to mind anymore. Like, that's not even an option, right? So that being said, both being in this elevated level of consciousness, working together, right? Working together, the way that the masculine and feminine energies within the brain are serving the soul, are working together. Once one is healed, you know you are the boss of you to use your feminine energy and your masculine energy at will, to be this balance, to be that healthy conscious being that you've come here to be, knowing yourself as soul. And so now in this dynamic of this partnership, you know each other, you feel each other, you see each other, you communicate, you understand each other, you know the qualities, the strengths that the masculine holds and that the feminine holds. So it's never about one or the other leads. It's about working together to support the goal, to support the mission, to build together, right? And this becomes a very beautiful dance, a very easy dance. And it's necessary for the new earth union, for there to be a divine masculine and a divine feminine. And again, remember, this does not have to be this, opposite genders. It can be same gender or neutral gender. But there has to be this balance. And it's all about the balance. And we cannot live without men. And we cannot live by controlling anybody or anything, right? And so in this new earth paradigm, in this new earth consciousness, both are also okay to pick up the slack for each other, because there's continuous growth, there's continuous healing, and there is so much trust and so much reverence and so much transparency that, for example, today, with the way I'm feeling, I would definitely not want to lead at all. I would just want to be like, taken care of, or like, just chill and do nothing. Right? So it's a supporting of each other's healing continuously. It's a supporting of each other's growth continuously. It's a supporting of the mission at large continuously. And both are able to pick up the slack. Both are able to, give more at a moment or receive more at a moment, however necessary. So this whole tit for tat thing doesn't exist there any longer. One needing to be the leader and the other wanting to be the leader doesn't exist there anymore. It is an awareness and a consciousness that is not of the old paradigm any longer, where you've got this, or I've got this, or we've got this, or you'll do this and I'll do this, right? It's really this beautiful collaboration that is meant to be that. And neither one are on ego trips. Neither one gets to call the shots. Neither one gets to make all of the decisions. It is he or she who holds the most light, makes the big decisions, right? It's very important because there is no ego involved. And whoever is most aligned and most tuned in to receive the highest guidance, right? To be that high level vision for the mission, for example, will bring that forth. And the other one will be, oh yeah, awesome, great, right? There is no ego trip. There is no, I wanted to do that, I needed to know that. There is none of that. So we have to step out of these ways of thinking. We have to let these old ways go. And with this full moon this weekend, as you're bringing in and participating in its magic, keep setting the intention to open up your perception. Keep glimpsing into your new earth self. Keep opening and aligning yourself into these higher levels of consciousness. Because this is a moon that will set the tone, and it will bring forth your soul's vision, your soul's mission, your soul's joy, your soul's strength, right? Because the more that you are aiming to glimpse and level up and align with your new earth self, the more your soul will make it happen, the more your higher self will co-create with you and for you. And that's the magic. And this is also then going to be the same way in this partnership that we're looking at here as this example. You know, he's got his strengths that he takes care of mostly, and she's got her strengths that she takes care of mostly. But there's always a support. There's always a reciprocation. There is always a dance, right? It's doing it together, because in the end, we are one. And so it's not, by the way, let me just, one more thing. Let me say that patriarchy and matriarchy, remember that these are generally people that haven't healed. And that's also a part of the process. Every soul has to go through its process, through its journey, through its healing. And maybe it's within these women villages that lessons will be learned and awarenesses will be gathered, right? Because we can never escape the balance, ever. So within these villages, we will see, I can guarantee it now, that they will have the same problems. Some of these women will take on that masculine energy, and they will want to dominate, and they will want to control, and they will be in their egos because they're not healed. And so even though they thought they could escape the balance of masculine and feminine, it'll show up with everybody being in a feminine gender body. But it won't change the lessons. It won't change the healing. It won't change the growth. It won't change the soul pushing for this transformation. And therefore, it's very important to let every soul move through the learning and the transformation in the way that the soul chooses to. As long as nobody gets hurt, right? As long as no rights are removed, as long as no innocent, voiceless being is being harmed or controlled, obviously, right? So that is, of course, still an issue within the old paradigm, but that's also all coming to the surface now. So we're in a big process. It's a huge, huge, huge transformational process that we are going through here on earth. And just stay focused on yourself. Stay focused on your up-leveling. Stay focused on your upgrading. Stay focused on wanting to be your best version, and stay focused to holding that mindset to always wanting to continue to grow, to always wanting to continue to elevate, because that is a guarantee. And the more that you go with it, the more graceful it feels. And the more you are in front of it and you're the one choosing it, right? Because many are now going to get tumbled when not listening to their souls. Many are now going to really go through tower moments because they're avoiding or ignoring their intuition. The souls want this evolution. The souls want this ascension. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here at this point in time. And so the best thing you can do for yourself is keep leveling up. Keep asking yourself, where am I still holding on to an old identification, an old attachment, an old need, an old way of behaving or believing or perceiving, right? Keep checking yourself and let everybody else move through their transformations the way it is meant to be for them. Good. Now, sorry for all the background noise and all of the energies flying around, but that's just what's happening. It is what it is. But oh, by the way, if you listen to last week's episode with Erica, I'm humming. I'm like, just humming along. It's so nice. I do that, exercise every now and then. I was going to do it every day. I haven't been doing it every day, but I'm humming. I'm humming every day. And so watch that episode. It was really wonderful and very applicable. Those nervous system regulating practices. Good. All right, my gorgeous. I'm going to go back inside, and I'm going to hide from the worker guys, and I'm going to edit this and post this and retire on the couch for the night. Thank you for your energy, your time, your presence here on this channel. I am sending love and light blessings to you and yours. Ciao for now.